Hey traders, a very warm welcome to you. So let's talk Forex, and let's specifically talk about how we put support and resistance on our charts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run through a couple of the major pairs that we all like to trade: US dollar, yen, GBP, USD, Euro USD. We're just going to pick a few. I'm going to run through drawing support and resistance on a variety of time frames. So the daily chart, we'll go then with an hourly chart, and then we'll look down onto a 1 minute chart for those day traders out there who's scalpers. So the first one I've got in front of you is AUD USD. Now, the point is, when you're drawing support and resistance, the whole premise of a support level or a resistance level is it's a level the market has touched multiple times before but hasn't been able to break through. Or if it has been able to break through, that then flips from support to resistance and vice versa. Let's look at an example. Now, it doesn't matter what charting package you're using. You can use MT4, your own broker's package, whatever it may be. But the thing is, it's all going to be the same. You're just looking for those key levels. Now, first of all, we're on a daily chart here. It's probably going to stand out a mile to you there, as it does to me, a level where we have interest, a level where the market has struggled to break through, and that is this level here. We've had one, two, multiple touches of it. So the kind of decision you've got to make when you're drawing these levels on is, are you going to be very, very definite with it? Let me just minimize this. It's AUD USD, but let me flick that off so we can see what's going on. Are you going to be very finite with your levels and say, well, actually, even though this one was a tag here, and this is a tag here, this is a tag here, I'm still going to draw my line up here because I believe that's a resistance level? Or are you going to tag the ones, are you going to draw it on the multiple tags that it's tagged the most? So in other words, do just put an average, because look, we can see here, if I'm drawing my drawing pen here, we've got a tag here, a tag here, a tag here. I could carry it on forever. You can see exactly what's happened. So the point is, where do you put your resistance level? Well, for me, when you've got something that's quite as broad as this, it's all very well to put in like a few lines, or even if you put a rectangle box in and say, listen, this is a sort of a fuzzy zone of resistance, if you like. So that's kind of, we jump straight into a little bit more complicated example there. If you've got something like this, which is a support level here, two key levels, number one, number two, they've both tagged it very, very closely within a few ticks of each other, or not very far of each other. It's very easy to put your line in. That's an obvious level of support. You're going to drag it up and you're going to put it somewhere between the two. Now, the market is never going to tag support and resistance. Well, never say never with trading, guys, but it's very rarely going to tag it to the tick and then reverse. So, if markets are broken out of a resistance or a support by a few ticks, you've got to give that room. You've got to understand that and put that with your, and represent that, should I say, with your drawings. So, here we can see we've got a decent level of resistance, and the most popular or the most useful is what's happened in the last kind of few days or weeks, whatever it may be. So the closest tag of that level are most important. So I can see 1, 2, 3 close tags. So for me, that makes a lot of sense to have this line lining up with these three, and it happens to be very close to these as well, so that makes sense. So there's a decent level of resistance there. Let's have a look at Euro US dollar on a daily chart. And first of all, we can say, okay, what have we got here? We've got any resistance, we've got any support, and I'm zooming back, and I can see that we've got a high here. Now, a lot of people do like to use one price point and say that is a level of resistance. For me, I don't consider it a resistance until we've tagged it multiple times. For me, what's standing out is a level of resistance is around here. You've got a bit of a broad level of resistance here in this particular chart. Okay, so just because it's tagged it once, that doesn't necessarily count. We still need to look at that. It's still very valid, and there's still a lot of setups we can take from that prior high or prior low. But as a strict resistance or support level, it doesn't really measure up for me. Let's have a look at GBP USD, and then let's have a look at some support resistance levels on the 1 minute, and then we'll go to a 15 minute and a 5 minute. So we've got a daily chart here, and we're going back couple of years or whatever it is. You can see much more obvious levels of support and resistance on this chart. There's obvious support down here. We had obvious support here from this tag back in July, whenever that was. We broke through. Now it became a little bit of resistance here, so you can it becomes clear. The ultimate test for me is it has to literally jump out of the chart at you. You cannot ignore it. It's right in your face. You can see that it's bashed its head against it. You can see it's not been able to push through. That is where you need to draw your support and resistance. Let's look at a 5 minute, and let's look over to US. Well, 5 minutes straight away. You can see it jumps out at you straight away. Bang, there's my resistance level, whatever day this may be. There's my support level down here. I've got an interim support level kind of about here. It just stands out straight away. Let's go into US dollar JPY and let's see what jumps out straight away. Whatever. In fact, what we can do is we can literally scroll back, and no matter what day it is, we should be able to have something that stands out, that jumps out the page at us. Let's go back. Let's keep going back, and then let's stop. Right, what have we got? It jumps out straight away. You can see we've got a cluster of support here, so you don't need to overthink it and start thinking I'm going to put it each little area. I want to see where the cluster of support is. There it is. We have a triple bottom there, give or take. Obvious support level there. Resistance level, okay, not so clear. We've got a high here and a high here. Maybe I'm going to put my resistance level there. I probably would have put it here as well if it was earlier in that day, because we struggled to get through it. Then we tagged it once again, it became resistance. We tagged it again, then we finally broke through, it became support. That is a support and a resistance level in one. Let's now even drill further down. Let's pick out another pair like a Euro JPY. I'm just picking off the top of my head here. Let's go down to a 1 minute and let's see if we can draw them on a really small time frame. Again, I don't know what day this is, it doesn't matter. You can see the difference now is that there isn't that much standing out. You can see a channel, which is a completely different thing. It's not a horizontal support or resistance. We have a little bit of kind of short-term support here, and if you draw it in, you know, like this, you can say, okay, well, there's a little bit of short-term support, and this is what happens on your 1 minute charts. You get short-term support, short-term resistance that then breaks. Very rarely will you get it that's lasting the whole day. You're going to need a higher time frame for that. So you know, you can kind of pinpoint it out, and you can say, all right, well, in 1 minute we have some more support around here, approximately, give or take. And obviously you've got to give yourself a little bit more room on a 1 minute as well, because you really are drilling down, and then it's rolling right over, and that's broken the support. There's some more support here. Looking at a daily, which most of us will be trading, swing trading perspective, let's have a look. Straight away, it should come straight out at you that we've got support here, you know, whatever it may be. So we're not necessarily looking at it from a perspective of, you know, is this a support resistance level for trading ideas going forward. It's purely, you know, a support and resistance drill, if you like, so that you can look at your chart and immediately go, yeah, there's support, there's resistance, and then utilize it in your trading decision making process by looking at it in the current market conditions, in the current position of the chart. But the point is, there's no right or wrong way to draw it. I prefer to be a little bit more loose with it. Some people prefer to have actual tags of points, but for me, it's where supply and demand has shifted, and that's not always going to be in exactly the right position, exactly the same position each time, but it's going to be in a general zone. And if the price is approaching that general zone, you've got three choices to make as a trader. You stay out, which is your first choice. You look for a breakout, or you look for a mean reversion counter trend trade. Look for the support resistance to hold. So once you've got those lines in place, then you can kind of make your decision based on where we are, you know, what your premise is and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's your support and resistance, guys, especially particularly in the FX market, where we've got that 24/5 trade, so we do get a lot more tests overnight of the key levels. But let me know how you draw your support and resistance. It's a bit of a interesting topic. You know, some people swear by doing it one way, some people swear by doing it the other way. Like I say, I choose it this way. It works for me. I'll be interested to hear what you do and how you like to do your support and resistance, whether you're very, very picky about it or whether you're quite flexible with it. Anyway, guys, give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe for more videos from me and other traders on this channel. Good luck with your trading. Take care. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.